The Lost Melody, Part 2. This is for educational purposes only.
One of the boys, Malik, was especially influential. His family owned a string of businesses in Nairobi, and he seemed to have everything: money, connections, and a carefree life. Malik introduced Cairo to a world of late-night parties, expensive alcohol, and eventually, drugs. At first, it was just a joint passed around during a party, something harmless. But as the weeks went by, the casual fun began to spiral. Soon, Cairo found himself not only using drugs, but also becoming a dealer. Malik's friends had connections, and the money they made from selling to other rich kids at school was too tempting for Cairo to resist. The rush of quick cash, coupled with his need to maintain his new lifestyle, made it easy to justify his choices. His grades began to slip, and the guitar he once carried everywhere gathered dust in a corner. His parents noticed the change but couldn't quite figure out what was wrong. Cairo had become distant, his once sparkling eyes now dulled by late nights and drug use. The community center where he used to practice his music had long been forgotten, and his dreams of becoming a musician were buried under layers of guilt and confusion. One evening, after a particularly rowdy party, things took a turn for the worse. The police raided Malik's house, and Cairo, along with a few others, was caught with drugs in his possession. It was a wake-up call he hadn't expected. His parents were devastated, their trust in him shattered. His mother cried for days, and his father, usually a man of few words, simply couldn't look him in the eye. Cairo was expelled from school and faced legal charges. Yet, instead of learning from his mistake, he dug himself deeper into the world of drugs. After the arrest, Malik vanished from the scene, and Cairo found himself at the center of a new drug ring. The quick money, the power, and the respect he earned from Nairobi's underworld soon turned him from a small-time dealer into a notorious drug lord. Cairo's name became synonymous with the city's drug trade. He employed dozens of runners, moving large quantities of narcotics across Nairobi, and his once promising life had spiraled into a dangerous game of survival. His addiction to money and control blinded him to the growing darkness around him. The boy who once dreamt of music had become a shadow of his former self. But the law caught up with him. He was arrested multiple times, each time escaping with bribes or loopholes. His lavish lifestyle came at a steep cost. Trust was rare, and violence lurked at every corner. He found himself constantly looking over his shoulder, living in fear of rivals, the police, or betrayal from his own men.